Brahma. The Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. Srimanacharya Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. Brahma. Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. The Indian Hindu Khumbars believe in the purity of the universe and celebrate its consolidation by royal imperial rituals, arti, and mantras. Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda is the mathematical calculated name of the purpose of the Khumbarat Chitra as created by my ancestors from the start of time with proper family tracing and lineage, all matching the Attar Codex in reference to universe and language system of historical tracing. The term for lighting at the eye is known within its architectural Indian Hindu Khumbar reference as the Ad and holds various clues to the creation of the country of India with the ancient royals and imperials of the Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom. It is believed that Bhagwan Om Chitroda is the creator of all Khumbarat Chitra on every planet in the universe for myself, Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. And through satellite laser technology Bhagwan Om Chitroda has carved and etched a complete set of principles and teachings in forms or pictures and symbols to evolve the Indian Hindu Khumbars into universal freedom. These Khumbarat Chitra can be seen on every planet in our solar system as far away as planet Pluto known as Yamlok and appear on planet Mars as images and symbols. On planet Mercury they exist as Indian Hindu Khumbari scripture of creation and in the future will dominate the realm of space exploration. Brahma. Geology. The Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda, myself, are not only limited to the great planetary surfaces but are also part of a localized region. For example, ancient pictures can be identified on mountains as when you tilt your head you may see an entire mountain top carved with its peaks in the shape of a Chitroda Bhagwan or Chitroda Bhagwan Dev. You may also find the sides of mountains or valleys carved in great pictures all over the world, solar system, galaxy and universe. They are not naturally occurring and represent defined images made on the landscapes. Natural weathering through climate change may have eroded some of the pictures, however the logical path outlines and Attar confirms the reality and identity. There also is a conflict, for example, of ancient Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom history and current technology, as the Indian Khumbarat Chitra are displayed on planets and all over the galaxy that resemble Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom history stories or Katha, and the resemblance of the Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda, myself, is identical to the history. As space satellites and probes venture into the galaxy and universe, the confirmation of the Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom becomes more and more a reality. Brahma. Adorshahak planet Earth. Third planet from the Sun. The Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. Khumbarat Chitra reference Bhagwan Om Chitroda sitting down with baby Bhagwan Mangal Dev Chitroda. Chitra decoding Bhagwan Om Chitroda sitting clearly in center of picture wearing a crown with royal gown with baby Bhagwan Mangal Dev Chitroda in his lap. Picture summary drawn in triangle formation. Brahma. Buddha planet Mercury. Closest planet to the Sun. The Bhagwan Buddha Dev Chitroda Khumbarat Chitra reference Bhagwan Om Chitroda commanding Bhagwan Brahma Chitroda government to explore the universe. Chitra decoding Bhagwan Brahma Chitroda located in central position sitting on flying craft, with Bhagwan Om Chitroda sitting on royal imperial throne overlooking him giving command and instructions. Brahma. Mangal planet Mars. Fourth planet closest to Sun. The Bhagwan Mangal Dev Chitroda. Khumbarat Chitra reference face of Bhagwan Mangal Dev Chitroda as Batma or phantom. Chitra decoding the face of Bhagwan Mangal Dev Chitroda, one side covered with mask showing one eye with the Bhagwan Mangaldev Chitroda red triangle, located to the left of the picture outside of the black box. Brahma. Yam planet Pluto. Ninth planet away from the sun. The other Bhagwan Yamdev Chitroda. Khumbarat Chitra Bhagwan Yamdev Chitroda as Surpura Nag Bapa teaching life and death science. Chitra decoding Bhagwan Yamdev Chitroda sitting on his throne with Nag protector emblem above his crown. Brahma. Chosen lands. The importance of India is a mathematical calculation of its name from Bhagwan Indradev Chitroda. It has taken several yugs on the planet for Indian Hindu Khumbars to name the country of India alongside many other countries, if not all countries, as decoded via my own Atta Codex. Each country follows the Atta pattern naming system that is exclusively recognized by Indian Hindu Khumbars. The Janamthan or birthplace of the Bhagwan Devs, Mangal, Buddha, Vayu, Chandra, and Bhagwan empires Vaman, Karma, Ram, Krishna etc. is located in India. However, during the last 8 family generations, the Indian Hindu Khumbars have once again started to use the logic of the Atta using George coordinates, where use of the Atta forwarded itself to global positioning numbers to create the next ranges of spiritual and mathematical development with Atta translation. Some to reflect ancient lands where once stood ancient buildings of my ancestral empire. Brahma. Khumbarat Chitra directions. The summary of megalithic Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra appears in all directions. For example, you will notice that from the first stage of when the Indian Hindu Khumbar race first began to create intelligent life, the world map was upside down and the first Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra was drawn on India. It was my ancestor Bhagwan Gautam Buddha Chitroda the Shirodri that created the first political world map as we see it today. This fact remains the truth all over the world and has valid translations within Indian Hindu mandirs and languages. The Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra exists from the central point in India Chitroda, and the directions of the pictures exist in all 24 directions covering the surface of the world with mathematically calculated angles as summarized by my Atta Codex. The Indian national flag celebrates my Bhagwan Ashok Chitroda Chakra located at the center of the Indian national flag. There are 330 million different megalithic Khumbarat Chitra made over the planet's surface and more to that number via my ancestral Bhagwan Ketu Dev Chitroda method of creating Khumbarat Chitra on the fields, forests and jungles on the planet. This can be best viewed on satellite imaging computer programs, where if you locate a Khumbarat Chitra on a field or greenery and zoom out in stages, larger Khumbarat Chitra engulf the smaller ones until you are left with the continents and oceans as the largest of Khumbarat Chitra. With every Khumbarat Chitra having valid Indian Hindu Khumbarata translations and origin stories found in Indian Hindu Khumbar Hinduism religion, culture and history. Brahma. Khumbarat Chitra methodology. The Pravachan Mahavajesh or center point of the planet is located at the ancient village of Chitrod, India. It is from here that the distance in miles relates to Hindu scriptures that define the correct story and katha played in synchronized Imperial Royal Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom history. The history can be recalled as summaries, mantra, shloks or atta entries when used as Vajresh points at the eyes of Khumbarat Chitras. Chitroda is defined by Chitroda and the red triangle of Bhagwan Mangaldev Chitroda that completes the A to my eternal journey and history of Chitroda to Chitroda. The red triangle also appears on the Indian Hindu Bhagwan Mangaldev Chitroda ring and celebrates the Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra of the universe with its other mathematical attributes of my Bhagwan Mangaldev Chitroda kingdom. The Atta sum calculation of the alphabet character A was created through a historical path from its source as the red triangle. Khumbarat Chitras have defined measured distance and defined curvature measured in angles and mathematical philosophies made with precision. The extent to the Khumbarat Chitra continues to provide images when they are reflected in twofold, fourfold or more with corner quadrant fold symmetry to disclose the Royal Imperial Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom Bhagwan Devs and Bhagwans that can be traced to the 330 million Indian Hindu Khumbar Mandirs and other planets. I have found these through my own research and have given them the name of Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda, abbreviated to KCJBC, said as KCJBC. Translation: Special JBC or Odisha Jabak. Pravachan Mahavajesh Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda, translated as Great Directions and Location of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. The naming is a result of mathematical precision and prophecy calculation of my own family history from the start of time. Planet Earth has 3 Khumbarat Chitra reference points: 1. Royal Imperial Indian Hindu Kingdom as Chitrod. 2. Education and Government as Chittaranjan. 3. Business and Commerce as Shiroda, Chitrodari/Shirodri. All these points have complete Bhagwan Om Chitroda kingdom signatures as Om symbols and full auto recognition to any point on the planet. The Khumbar Kingdom students are also known as Jan for male and Janani for females as a classical Chitranjan education title. Brahma. Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. Elevation. The genius of the Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda, myself, is a work of absolute perfection on this planet and other planets. Each Khumbarat Chitra can be seen at different elevations. Each height level and angle shows a different Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra, with the story translated within Indian Hindu mandirs with the kingdom katha completed as a set of excellence. Khumbarat Chitra on planet Earth can be seen from a height of just 3 miles to around 1,08,000 miles into space with valid translations. There are many smaller Khumbarat Chitra joining together, merging with the natural vision of the human eye to produce larger complete Khumbarat Chitra, like small independent pictures creating a larger picture. This is known as Adhar Chitra Drishti. Brahma. Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra Pratab. All Indian Hindu megalithic continent Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda have reflection symmetrical codex known as Pratap that are hidden as Indian Hindu Khumbar Chitra on this planet and other planets, and are manifested or installed as entities into my ancestral Indian Hindu Khumbar buildings and institutions all around the world and universe as founders and makers and rightful owners of them. For example, if you translate Pratap, illumination, in Indian Hindu Gujarati, place a mirror at the end the word, the reflection will translate as Trishul of JBC or Trishul of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. Within the Indian Hindu Gujarati Khumbar language there are many hidden illustrations for various ages on the Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom planetary history. For example, the word Pratap is also the same as Pratap, where the reflection translates as 10 JBC or 10 Jabak, implying the 10th Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. Myself. Please note that the function of Pratap to Pratap are P2B functions dedicated to my mother, HRH Pushpaben Bhagwanji Chitroda. Through the food at a sector of her career and noted as true imperial function, she also upgrades her B function attribute to capital B function as Bhagavati. The transition of atta functions as the Bhagavati title includes the entire universe and is greater than HRH. Therefore, even language and characters or alphabet can also be defined as the Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. The complete excellence of the Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra extends far out of this planet onto others with fully translated values within mantra, shloks, artis, all celebrated within homes and external mandirs. There are twofold, fourfold and more with vertical and horizontal reflections that also have corner fold reflections to produce the hidden Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda codex of manifestation. Each reflection once identified result in pictures of Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom at different reflection measures. I discovered this pattern of reflection on the 13th of August 1986 with a map and kaleidoscope set of mirrors with my father Bhagwanji Chitroda and have named it Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda Pratap Codex. Two-fold Khumbarat Chitra. Top right original. Bottom left two-fold Khumbarat Chitra. Main image four-fold Khumbarat Chitra. Top right original. Bottom left two-corner fold Khumbarat Chitra. Main image four-corner fold Kumbharat Chitra. Brahma. Bhagwan Jayesh Chitroda Maha Sila. The permanent Khumbarat Chitra of the planet's surface has already been defined. Even in the oceans, valid Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra can be seen from satellite where once oceans and seas never existed. This set the next motion of the entity to be drawn as an honor to my ancestor Bhagwan Jayesh Chitroda. The literal translation of Ketu is fields or open land. You will find that fields, forests, jungles and farming lands have trees and other vegetation grown alongside or with the land's already sculpted contours to illustrate smaller Indian Hindu Khumbarat Chitra kingdom images. The main attributes of the Bhagwan Jayesh Chitroda kingdom were to develop farmers to produce crop, many of which worship the sun for good return of weather through positivity, whilst incorporating yoga as a natural routine encompassing the attributes of my ancestor Bhagwan Jayesh Chitroda to wait for the air currents to change direction and create huge fires to make rain clouds and create rainfall. Farmers are one of the major pillars to our planet, and some have been looking after the same fields and land for thousands of years with public dependency on them for good food. The farmers have watched several religions pass them by through time, keeping their own rooted Hinduism beliefs through generations from when they first were given the land. Many ancient buildings are located and buried beneath fields to preserve their integrity as a security choice. The farmers' tools often reflects this ancient trust. The other planetary aspects as mentioned in Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom scriptures is the planet Neptune known as Ketu. The Atta translation of Neptune equates to Neptune equals J Om P function plus Atta Ram Om. Please note that all planets in the solar system and beyond were first discovered by my ancestors and people of the Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom before the current Western establishment, spanning a time frame of several yugs and Mahayags. Mandirs and architectural buildings of all types were first made in India and then replicated outside of India. Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom mandirs are older than all other religions, cultures, societies, institutions, governments and fraternities. Most countries also agree with this synopsis as understanding the tracings of archaeological buildings in forms of ruins, churches, abbeys, cathedrals, castles, fortresses, citadels, pyramids, masjids, mosques etc. to the ancient Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom Empire. Many of the pyramids located around the world have buildings located inside them. The pyramid shape was made as protection to avoid the building breaking during vigorous weather conditions like the Great Flood, Ice Age and climate change. All these ancient buildings have a proper Atta translation and evaluation with distances measuring to the source of Chitrod, Chittaranjan, and Shiroda. Brahma. Naming system. Each country, town, city, village and area in the universe has been named with Indian Hindu Khumbar Atta perfection. During the end of the Tridatta age, the Bhagwan Dev systematic population control stopped and gave rise to the Indian Hindu Khumbar Prajapati kingdom. The excess population were sent to build other kingdoms on the planet. This population growth happened during the second age known as Kalpayuga, and new kingdoms were named in accordance to the Atta recognition. My ancestor Bhagwan Vaman Chitroda started the dynasty by creating named land areas that were later inhabited by the overspill population of former kingdoms. These areas from the central point all tell a very intelligent story through the hidden Atta Codex. There is a very specific ancient formula to calculating the precise distance and naming a kingdom network within its Dharoda quadrant. The Bhagwan Mangal Dev Chitroda map measures the distance from one point to another, and the distance in numbers translates to the Atta Codex. You will find that all ancient Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom buildings, even those that are buried and not yet found or discovered, have a logical distance distribution and follow my formula, predicting every ancient buried or surfaced building to its origination point on planet Earth and the universe, completing the missing knowledge of history as lost by migration and climate change. During the end of the Dwarpan Age, my Royal Imperial Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom of Bhagwan Krishna Chitroda branched off into labeled castes of the Indian Hindu Khumbar Prajapati Kingdom, as Bhagwan Krishna Chitroda was known as the last emperor to have ruled and reigned over the entire universe, and no one has ever achieved this in history apart from my ancestor dynasty of Bhagwan Krishna Chitroda. The original Royal Imperial Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom was kept intact, with the real kingdom people who are Indian Hindu Khumbar Prajapati even today labeled as societies and entities of the past, present and future attributes. These people are located in India today as they did not have the desire to leave their Indian Hindu nation. Many sponsored migrants and refugees to India during the 14th to 19th were employed by the Indian Hindu Khumbar Prajapati Kingdom, and during migration out of India they adopted the sponsors or employers' surnames as identification. My own family are the original Royal Imperial Indian Hindu Khumbar Prajapati, and through the past 8 family generations we have moved to places to complete the Janmatan Majo Chatter defined by Giorgio coordinates. Brahma. Khumbarat Chitra of Jayesh Bhagwanji Chitroda. Akshar symmetry. In the past, alphabets or akshar have been celebrated at the Bhagwan Mangal Dev Chitroda Karan Mandir, India, located at a small village called Badihari, India, and is twinned with the Mandir of Bhagwan Hari Phir Chitroda, currently named Haji Phir Mandir, located at India Kutchniya Changdam Nilpar, complying to the known Indian Hindu Khumbar saying Hari chain to Haji A, where Hari is Bhagwan Hari Chitroda, my ancestor kingdom dynasty, and the 6th Hari Chitroda emperor of the Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom, completing the Bhagwan Vishnu Chitroda Mahapuran. And Haji Che is Indian Hindu Khumbar saying for creating the 6th Jatra Dham of the Indian Hindu Mandir of Haji Phir, completing the Haji allegory and phantom mystery of my grandfather Bhagwan Mipa Chitroda as the prophesied Haji and King Jurg VI to excavate of various Indian Hindu Khumbar kingdoms located in Africa. Please note the JBC Pratap Codex of Hari into Haji is the J in the Haji reflected horizontally and then vertically, or rotating it by plus 180 degrees into the R. The decoding is the Indian Hindu Khumbar Gujarati J character, Ja, that is noted in the Quran and the Purans as the owner of the universe and everything, with the logic of how it was created systematically. The Quran understands it as my royal imperial seal and identity as I manifest as a function to provide explanation, and the Puran notes it as traditional Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom history of Bhagwans, Devs, emperors and kings, all from my own direct ancestry as the eldest son of the lineage and bloodline. The entire alphabet systems of every language, even ancient, were all made with these codes originating from the Indian Hindu Khumbar Kingdom language of Khumbri, known as the language of my ancestors, the Bhagwan Chitroda and Dev Chitroda, Tridata Age, kingdoms. एक लव से में हमेशा, एक पल से में युग, एक भक्त से में इतिहास, एक मंदिर से में देव, एक विश्वास से में भगवान, एक दिया से में प्रताप, एक सोच से में चक्रवर्ती, एक कदम से में विराट, एक कोशिश से में ब्रह्मांड, एक सत्या से में जयेश भगवान जी चित्रोड़ा।